I'm a firm believer that the younger you are, the more you have to use potential to your advantage. And I say use potential because, as someone who doesn't have a lot of experience, you have to use pretty much everything you can to compete with those who do have the experience. And that was precisely my situation when I was getting into real estate sales at 18, and I literally had no professional working experience. And I was competing against people who were 2 to 3 times older than me, who had, at least 2, 3, 5, 10 years of real estate sales experience. How does someone like me compare against someone who has that much experience? Well, among the relentless follow-up, the good energy that I exude, and the overall impression of hard work, there's also the important aspect, the important factor of potential. Potential can't really be measured, but I would argue that potential is an energy that you give off to those who are older, who do want to give you the chance of working with them. And, the value of potential is much greater when you're younger because you don't have a set of experiences to make up for, or I should say, you don't have a lot of working experience to justify someone working with you, but you do have potential. Whereas if you're older, potential doesn't really matter as much because when you're older, you need to have a lot of working experience to justify your time living, if that makes sense. Because if you were to see someone who is 50 years old and hasn't done much with his life and who has the same set of working experiences of a 21-year-old, which is not much, the person might wonder to the 50-year-old, what have you been doing with your life? For those, 29 years that you could have potentially worked, what have you done with yourself? And that's why when you're older, working experience matters more than potential, because you have had a good majority of your life to do something, but you haven't done it. Whereas if you're a 21-year-old and if you don't have a lot of working experience, you can have potential work for you. And that's my experience when it's been working for, numerous buyers and sellers in real estate, is that they are much more willing to work with you because you're younger and you have that potential within you. They see the potential of you doing good for them, even if you don't have that good working experience. And I highly suggest people who are young and without working experience to exude that energy that you have good potential by, working hard, by showing that you're attentive, that you want to learn, by asking questions, by overall just being someone who wants to be interested in whatever field that they're working in. And I guess that came very easy for me because I've always been interested in real estate since I was, 17. And I've had a very naturally inquisitive mind. And that's only been growing because of the amount of things that I've been learning along the way. My absolute knowledge may have increased, but my relative knowledge, it just gets smaller and smaller in comparison to what I don't know. And that's just something that I've found out for myself. But again, you have to use potential as a weapon because you're competing against other people who have much more experience than you. You have to use potential because if the world were to work in a way where experience was valued more than potential, then us younger people entering into any industry would have no fighting chance. So I hope this gives you some sort of hope in a very competitive environment, no matter if it's real estate or, computer programming, whatever the industry is. No matter what the competition is, you have the ability to use potential in your favor if you are young. If you're older, you have to use experience in your favor because that's part of your repertoire. Hope this video helps. Those are some insights into the working world and how you can use your age for or against you. But if you have any videos, share them in the description or the comments below, and I'll be happy to make some more content for you. So stay tuned.